Hi, welcome on in. You know what? For a second there, I thought my mic wasn't on. It's on. Phew. Okay. I hope everybody's having a lovely day so far. Welcome to Adobe Live and hello, I'm pixipui. We've got our pro tip segment, which means it's 30 minutes, but 30 minutes always feels like 30 seconds. So before we dive into what we're going to be doing today, firstly, how are the Behancers and the YouTubers? Hope you're having a good day so far. And yes, have a lovely day at work, Kane. See you later. Good morning. I feel actually it's like 6 p.m. over here, but good morning to you. Good day to everybody in the different time zones. But I have a question for the chat actually, and this will make sense in the next scene. But if you were to start a cooking school, what would your cooking school be named? In today's pro tip, we're going to be taking a look at how to animate webtoons. That's what everybody's doing nowadays, right? I've noticed there's quite a few webtoons on YouTube, which is great, but we can take it a step further with a 3-step process. So, oh yes. Oh, thank you, Val. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what? I've discovered there's nothing wrong with like the glasses places in shops, but you have to go online. If you want something creative, you really have to go online. I have literally 2 pairs of this just in case these break. They're all prescriptioned up. These glasses are thick, let me tell you. So I'm really glad that, you know, that they work. Microwave it? Okay, I dig this. That's terrible, but also maybe you're running that kind of business. It's totally chill. So as you can see, I do have Photoshop open, but this is because in our 3-step process, especially if you're watching it back on the VOD, this is your chance to maybe incorporate your own pipeline. If you've made comic books or manga stuff or webtoons before and you know how you like to start off your first section, this is the time to pause it, get your stuff, do your thing, and unpause me later. So, step 1, design it. Sketch out your design and note some movement ideas. So the movement ideas is the new thing. So if you're used to creating your own comic books or things like that before, you're used to jotting things down. So like at the top, I've got cooking ma. I didn't want to say, you know, the other one. We don't want to plagiarize. So we just take off one of the mas. So we've got cooking ma. We've got a little hungry portion. So, you know, people are reading it. They can see how something's going on. We can see, okay, let's make something new. Looks like something is on whatever this is, which I've determined to be like a counter. Now, bear in mind, if you are giving this to somebody else, you could make your sketches a little bit more readable. Oh, you do? I did too? Yes, wow. The infinity glasses? Oh, yeah. You're still thinking of a restaurant name? Uma, you're always eating desserts. What would your restaurant name be? Oliver's jumped up to the plate. At least it's not something with the color purple in it. At the very bottom, whatever was put out, I've decided is going to be mixed up in the bottom. Now, you could choose what goes on there based on the animation idea that you're going to have afterwards. But I say, don't worry, you can pretty much animate anything. It doesn't really need to be like a heavy animation. It could be really nice and simple. So for that part, let me turn on my directions. Or I suppose we could redraw them. Here are the directions in total, which make a lot of sense to me. But if you're passing on this work to maybe somebody else to do for you, you could have a little part on the side, which could maybe you could name or number the sections so people can then refer back to them. Pudding place. Yes. Pudding place. Oh, nothing to hide. Robert, you said you don't have extra additives in your food. Is that it? I get it. Hi, Jack. Jack, tell me what your restaurant's name would be, please. Toastables and it's all toast. Oh my gosh. Pure flour in the back. I mean, I like it. So for this top part, for it to be sort of cinematic, we're still doing the least amount of work with an animation. I want the building to come up. So in this case, I could just draw an arrow up. Maybe if you were giving it to somebody else, maybe make the arrow a bit smaller. You can write B for building and then go up. I know that I want hungry to kind of pop out, so I could have arrows pointing outwards. Remember, these are just ideas or little easy way lines for you to know what's coming up next. Hi, Easy. Hi, Keys. Happy Earth Day. It's Earth Day every day. Oh, yeah. Keys, Easy. It's your turn to think of, if you had a restaurant, what would your restaurant be called? We've had some bangers of names. We've got Pudding Place, snackos, toastables, and it's all toast. Microwave it and nothing to hide. So I know this one, I want the hand to kind of pop whatever this is down. I'm saying whatever this is because you'll see what it is later. So I probably put an arrow down, and if I want, I could pop these out. This would help the person vision. Think of like Batman. This would help whoever's looking at this later to know, okay, maybe this slams down. Maybe I could add a little emote or something or shape to show that it's hit the ground. Hi, Sandra. Oh, yeah, easy on YouTube. Yeah, easy on YouTube. Easy, Penny, easy. I know you both know each other. Cheesy, easy. I mean, okay. Alessandra, what is your restaurant name? And this, which looks like a baby's bottle, like on both ends, is a rolling pin. So I'd probably have an arrow going up and down to tell me, okay, whatever this is, I want a kind of rolling motion, and I want there to be like an item in here and to have it shake left and right. Doing good, just got here. Oh, Penny, easy shouted back. Like how I'm seeing you both from across the lines. True, every day is Earth Day. It's official today. Oh, is it? Oh, I see. Well, happy Earth Day to you, Keys. I'm still waiting for that restaurant name. But let's say we're all happy with our directions. We've got our sketch down. We've got our directions down. So what's step 2? Step 2 is vectorize it. Oh, yes. Alessandra just said, my restaurant name is fried, but not dried. Okay, so first of all, I feel like all of you should you need to run and make these into like a proper cute little name. That would be adorable and everything. Everything, yes. West Side, you know, easy, literally. Wait, Bezier's Burgers? These are so cute, actually. I love these. These are all really good. These are all really good, by the way. Okay, so depending on what you use to sketch, maybe you're someone that likes to sketch on paper, then put it on the computer afterwards. Oh, let me turn off one of these. Something's pop-a locking. There we go. Maybe you bring your sketch in, maybe you do it in Photoshop or program of your choice. You could choose to vectorize it here, which is by using the pen tool. This means that it's pretty much going to keep its quality. It's not going to disappear. We're not doing anything in here, but I wanted to show you my layers and how they're kind of laid out. You might have your own structure for organizing things, but now that you're going to animate stuff, you're going to have to think about how you could do it in a way that's slightly easier. If you've already made something and you're doing it in reverse, slightly different. But if you haven't made it yet, and now you're going ahead, you could choose, okay, let me think. If I know my sketch indicated I've got 2 hands here and I know they're moving together, let me have the hands in such a way that I could easily move them up and down. Maybe they should be on a transparent background, which is why this layer's only got the 2 hands there. I've got this item that we're going to be making in After Effects, just in case you want to take your sketch into After Effects and do it all there, because you perfectly can. It's all good. Wait, hold on, Keys. Wait. Moy's myriad morsels and muffins? Oh my goodness, the alliteration? Look at me dropping all the T's. Yes. Yes, Keys. So I've got this object. Because I want them to move at a slightly different time, I could have chosen to have them all together, minus the dough, but that's not a very entertaining animation. So by having them separate, I can say, okay, I want the hands to move up, and then after the hands move up, the item can move up, and then after that, the shine can move up. This is going to give us a fake 3D kind of woo effect. Nice. Voodoo's veggies vegan spot. Keys, what have you done? Yes, Val. Keys, you're forcing us all to be very illiterate. Hold on, is that right? Alliteration? Am I saying it wrong? Alliteration? How do we say this? Somebody help me. Please write it phonetically. The logo will have purple on it. I'm sure Oliver would love that. Okay, so now we're taking a look at After Effects, just in case. Just in case you've brought your sketch in. Let's hide the directions. And let's show this down here. I've already brought in my dough from elsewhere, but you can absolutely vectorize all of this. And I've actually brought up my thing. This is actually my, what do you call it? This is my rolling pin. It's legit. I went to a dim sum masterclass like 3 days ago. And so I've been making dim sum for days. This is the roller that we are making. Alliteration. Okay, thank you. Like an alligator. They kind of start the same. So that's what I'm making, which is the only reason why we don't have these side pieces. So since it's just a rectangle, we can make it easy for ourselves. Make sure you're not clicking on anything. If you are, it's going to turn into a mask instead of something else. So try to click on a blank area. You can go up to the rectangle tool, grab a color of your choice. I'm just going to nick one from above and make sure we've got fill on. Otherwise there'll be no color. Could pick a stroke. Might go for a color that kind of matches the other things. Oops. There we go. And make sure that the stroke is higher than 0. Otherwise we won't see anything. And here we go. So now we've got our item. Maybe we can increase the stroke a little bit so we can see it. And you're still going to be keeping in mind the location and direction of where all your things are. Now I can hide my layer 1, put it slightly underneath. This is in the bottom box. I'm going to talk about how I've opened these comps slightly later. But for now, if you are somebody that likes to go from Photoshop to After Effects or such and such in such a manner that it leaves comps, all you have to do is dive into the comp, copy your stuff, come back out of it and paste it. And then I could get rid of my bottom box and put everything in the order that I want them to be in. Now, sometimes it might put them in the wrong order, but I'm sure you're used to where they should have been, so it'll be easy enough for you to put them back. In this case, we could also add that little shine on the top. Let me see. Let's go ahead and grab our shine. You should name this. I'm just going to give it an R. There we go. And maybe we'll add a shine, something slightly brighter. But this is just an example of how you could... Looking for the stroke. There we go. How you could vectorize your stuff. Everything that I've done in Photoshop, you can absolutely do in After Effects. And a lot of times you normally have. I'm going to go to the matte and I'm going to whip this down to the R. Now, when you do that, it tends to hide your layer. Don't worry, just turn the eyeball back on and you're good to go. And if I wanted to, we could go down, maybe change the scale a little bit like I had before. Whoops. Make sure that your anchor is actually where you want to scale or move from. It tends to be in the center. That might not be where you want it to be though. All right, there we go. And then if we choose to duplicate it, move it up, stretch it out a little bit, then we've got that kind of, oh, we can make it just smaller, I guess. Then we've got that kind of, it's sort of shiny-ish effect. Presets pub and pizzeria. Hold on, Keys, are you making like Adobe / After Effects based restaurants? If you are, that's great. What would a Photoshop restaurant be? Okay, new challenge. What is a Photoshop restaurant? That's a good After Effects restaurant. I think we just watched a Premiere Pro challenge. What would a Premiere Pro restaurant be called? I want to know. And obviously it would be purple, so Val will be there every day. So if you do have something like I've got here as well, and you're like, oh, okay, great. I've got my sketch. I've got all of my stuff, but I can see that these arms are sticking out. Don't worry. We will talk about that in step 3. The steps are quite quick, quite easy to do, really. It's the length of time that it takes for you to make it look all nice and pretty like. But we'll move on to step 3, which is probably the one that's going to take the longest. So, step 3. Animate it. Woohoo! PR is definitely pizza. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you think about this? What if we chose to like what if there was a challenge to like design a bunch of really cool, cute, like animated logos of Adobe based Adobe programs, but as food restaurant things. Like that would be so cool. Oh, it wouldn't be good if it was like a pixel thing. Oh my gosh, yes. Essential pizza place. Yes. Keith said Oliver started it. I'm just continuing the joke. It's become your thing, Keith. Oliver's walked away. Oliver's like, no, I don't know what you mean. RV said, I wonder if Penny's here. RV, you too need to create a restaurant. If you were going to make a restaurant, what would it be called? So I've got a file here already where I've animated some parts. Just like the sketch that we had before, I've gone and animated some bits. We're going to break down what I've done, but we're going to animate the rolling part together, as well as talking about how I've used my masking. Now we're on to something. Don't worry. We might be asking Penny how to do something later for sure. So in my sketch, I had drawn, oh, do we have the sketch? We did, we got the directions. I had drawn that I want the building to come up. A good rule of thumb is if something's going up, something else should come down. So let's take a little look at the top one. Also, to help split things up and make it easier for me to see, I've deliberately used nulls. I normally keep them red. I think they come red. But I've used nulls to segregate my sections so I can easily see, oh, okay, all of this is the top box because it's between two bits that say the top box. All of this must be the mid left box because all of it's in the mid left box. So make it work for you. This lower half we're going to do together. Been missing Gareth. Oh, no. Annika? Where? Oliver with a microwave. I'm still. Okay, I see. It'll be called Cash and Dish. Okay. Oh, thank you, Val. All right. So we've got some of the main niceties out of the way, as in it looks pretty. Let's break it down. So I've got Cooking Ma. If we turn this off, we can see this one is the text. The text is connected to a parent to layer 3. You should name your layers. Don't be like me. This is the banner that is going to be held on. But if it wasn't Cooking Ma, what else could this be called, by the way? Maybe we can change it. I've got my group 3. Terrible group. I know it is. I'm so sorry. Ignore the way that group looks. You don't need to think about it. We've got my group 3, which if I... Oh, I see what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. Group 3 happens to be a bunch of windows. Oh, you can't see it when I do that. Group 3 is actually a series of windows on the building. I made more than I needed to, just in case, I don't know, maybe I show more of the building than I was expecting to. But this is all about, okay, let me think about what might be seen. Let me go over just a little bit. So we're never going to go down here. But now the option has been made. Let's reconnect that together. This is also connected to the top box mask. We'll talk about that. That's right here. So I've got my top box. Let me unconnect it so you can see what it is. My top box is actually a picture. It fits the width of the box it's supposed to be in, but I've added little clouds onto it so I don't need to animate the clouds separately. This is where we're doing the easy way. Make it easy for yourself to animate. Literally the smallest thing that you do will jazz up whatever video you're making. So by this moving up, like already by me doing it by hand, it kind of looks like, ooh. Hi, Tangil. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Is it Monday? Happy Monday. It's the April's already done. Have you noticed? Time seems to be dipping really quickly. It's very, very interesting. Okay, so we've got Cooking Ma. I'm gonna reconnect this back. Now, to make my mask, you could make your mask in Photoshop by, let's say maybe we didn't have one. So I'll disconnect this. Make sure I'm on the layer, click and drag it in the position that I want it to be in, and then animate it. Oh, because the mask is on top of it, it's kind of moving with it. But what I have found is a slightly easier way to do it. If you've got everything that you want and it's all down, great. What you can do is just make a separate item and call that the mask. So I ended up with this square that fits perfectly inside the box that I need. And that's my mask. It never moves, it's always hidden, and everything in the top box is connected to it. So now, any movement, it stays inside there. As for this part, my hand slapping down with the dough, I went in and I added a little bit of puppet tool. So if we can go and find that, that's the mid box. Top box, mid left. Ah, there it is. Let me get rid of all of these ones, shall we? If you do have a lot of stuff on screen, you can totally hide them by using that what no one to hide your layers. So let's see, where have I put this one? Grab all the stuff. Sometimes it be like that. I'm gonna find it. Okay, I found it. There we, oh, right, because in this version, I've not assembled it together. That explains so much. I was like, where is it in my list? I haven't done it on this one yet. So down here, I've got the tap, the case, the dough. Now my case and my dough have the puppet tool. In the very top, I've used the puppet tool position. So let's say maybe you had curtains or something like that. You could grab the puppet tool, click on your object and be like, oh, okay, well, I want, oh, let me get rid of these. Oh, no, there we go. I want this bit to move and I want this bit to move. This way you have the ability to move stuff that technically you wouldn't be able to because you've not really split it up. This will mean that you get to animate a little bit more by doing a little bit less, which is great. Okay. So I feel like we've waffled enough. We've got like 3 minutes. So let's talk about animating this. So I've got my hands. I'm going to check the timing. We've got this coming up. We've got this doing here. We've got that popping down. And I want the hands to be out of the shot to start with. So let's pull the hands down. And then I want the hands to pop up. And maybe we can have the hands go over their position. Nice. Apparently I've got some animation on my rolling pin, of which I did not notice. We don't want to check out the shine. Oh, is it on the shine as well? Oh, it's on shape 3. Okay, let's take a look. Sometimes it do be like that. It really do. It really do. Let me turn this off of the shine. We don't want that yet. And then all we have to do is repeat the action a little bit. So I've got a little bit of movement. We can drag across, hold, oh, and pull it over. Oh, I'm great, Tangil. Very good, thank you. So now we've got a little bit of rolling action. Wonderful. With that in mind, if you keep your screen open, you'll be able to copy the positioning to tell you, oh, when to move this, when to move that, which makes it very, very simple for you to keep things in order. Oh, it's shape 3, that's why. There we go. Looking at the time. Let's say if we want it to move here, move this down, move this up, feel like you get the gist. And then, just so we can fully wrap it up in the nicest of ways, if I pop into my fully animated one. If you go ahead and use the puppet tool yet again, which is what I've done on the dough, I've just chosen to make it spread out a little bit in reaction to it being rolled. So by doing this, we've done very, very little, but it adds a little bit of more interest to the animation or to something that was be still generally. So hopefully this is giving you an idea or something that maybe you didn't know that you could do, especially if you're doing webtoons and you're sharing them online. So maybe try adding a little bit of an animation somewhere just to give a little bit more of a spark. Take it slow. You don't need to do too much. Just a tiny thing. Tiny thing will go a long way. Thank you, Tangil. Well, I hope you lot enjoyed that. I know I did. I really enjoyed the ideas and the names of the restaurants that you came up with. That was really fun. Pizza alla Pixie. Yes. Oh, I want to do like a animated pixel pizza now. I really liked the Premiere based one. Thank you so much for joining in, and stay tuned, especially if you're on the Behance, because there's more stuff coming up next, more wonderful things that you can learn and grow your skills with. So, see you later. Bye.